Hey, Kyle, Querec here, and this is the note of the day. Today, we're going to go a little out of the box, and we're going to talk about something called writer's block. And everyone knows what that is. You're writing something, whether it's a novel, whether it's music. We're talking about music, and particularly a song, where you just want to write a song, and you have this great verse. There's no chorus, and it's driving you out of your mind. You love your verse so much. What do you do when you get writer's block? And I think there are three things. Here's number one. Number one, and this is the complete opposite of what you do when you practice. If you're practicing as a horn player, as a guitar player, and you're playing a tough Charlie Parker head or whatever it is, a piece of music that's tough, and you're doing great, but bar 12 and 13, you're just tanking on. What do? Do you start at the very beginning, and then when you get to bars 12 and 13, you kind of hope that it works? No. You go to bar 10, and you play real slow, and get through bar 12 and 13, and bar 14, 15, and then you speed it up. And then once that sounds good, then you take it from the beginning and see if it's all on the same level. That's how you practice. To me, it's the complete opposite of when you write. You're playing that verse, you love it, and that chorus is just not coming. What do? In my opinion, you can't go just a couple of bars before the chorus. You can, and maybe it'll happen, but the way that I look at it is it's so much better to start in the beginning, and then once you get to that chorus, something will come. To me, it always is come in chunks. So I want to get into the vibe of that song. I don't want to play 2 bars before the chorus and just think that, boom, it's going to pop out to the best chorus. So you can only do it for so long in a day. You're not going to do that 35 times. You'll be burnt. Go back to the very beginning. You can only do this a handful of times. Play from the beginning of the verse, and then when you get to that chorus, hopefully some chunk will pop out and kind of lead you to what you want to do. That's number one. Here's number two. It's not working. You have a great chorus, but you have no verse, and it's just not happening. And you can feel it. It's just not happening. What I would do, walk away, but listen to stuff that you love, and hopefully something completely different. Because what you want to do is you just want to get into that creative juices that's, no matter what you're doing, jazz, rock, pop, doesn't matter. That feeling of creativity, that pixie dust, works for all of them. So in my opinion, say you're working on an R&B tune, get away from that and go listen to some death metal that you love, or go listen to some classical music and just rediscover why you love music, rediscover what it is. And then it's that feeling that you get that's so important. And then once you're kind of inspired, your other song is out of your head, right? Come back to your tune a day later or after listening to that song and try it again. I think you'll be surprised. And lastly, number 3, you just got to walk away. This has happened rarely, but you get writer's block. I can only think of in recent memory where I just could not come up. I love this tune so much. I love the verses, but I just could not come up with the chorus. It took 2 years. Now, to me, I don't want to say it's easier, but when you're writing to picture or someone says, write me a waterfall, to me, that's easier to get in that space because they're providing you the inspiration. When you're writing a song just for the love of music, it's a little different. So if it ain't happening, just walk away. Give it a week. And the unique thing about writing music, to me, if you were explaining to someone who doesn't do it, like what is that like? How does that feel? Where does it come from? The best analogy I can describe is when you're finishing a book and you're on that last page and you read the last sentence and you close the book and you're just kind of flooded with like a little inspiration. You're thinking about the story and you're thinking about the characters. And if there was a moral to that feeling of like overjoyed, almost like a kid, that to me is what it feels like when you're about to write a piece of music or you're in the throes of it. Or when you're watching a movie that you loved and you're watching the credits roll and you just kind of sit there and go, and that flood of wonder, I guess is the best word. That to me is the closest thing of what it's like to write. So thank you for joining us today. Writer's block's not fun for anyone, but there are ways to kind of deal with it and recharge that inspiration that we all seek, where it's just kind of free flowing. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Kyle Querec. You've been watching Music Minded. Have a great day.